Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Let me get this mic a little closer to me so you could hear me a little better. This is Mr. Argueta coming to you week number 2 in our Team Project Summer Edition. Welcome. So let's get a couple of things out the way. So one, I appreciate all the interaction. I know this is a tougher class than what you're used to. I understand that you're used to the McGraw-Hill. You're used to going in there, doing work on your own. Totally get it. But that said, this is a team project class. This goes from me just giving you a bunch of information to you actually demonstrating what you know. And I quickly can see the concept is tough. I get it. But this is what real world looks like. You're always working in a team unless you're a sole proprietor that does a product on its own. Most of the time you'll be involved in a team, and most of the time you're in a team format, team projects, doing things on with someone else's information. Or someone else provides something to you. So that said, it could be a product or it could be just information based. Someone provides you a report. You're dependent on someone else to do something for you. So that said, week 1 is gone. Moving on. So in regards to our discussion for week 1, it was really a quick introduction. I'll be reading through that this week. Remember, guys, I do not accept late work. So if you did something and couldn't get it done on time, move on. Let's go on because we don't have time to go back. This is a 7-week course. It is going by super fast, and I promise you it'll be done in no time. So there is no time. The other thing I want you to consider is that you need to closely work with your team, because if there's times where you'll be assigned a project that you need to do either research or you're going to take a section of your research, it's all laid out. It shouldn't be that hard. This is not the first rodeo at this class. We've done 3 sessions of this, and every time students have stepped up to the challenge. So I expect nothing less from this group. I know it's summer and I understand, but this is where we're at. So that said, I'll be reading through your introductions. I'll be grading that. I hope everyone understands that this is all should be your own words, your own concepts, your own thoughts. Now, I don't have a problem with you utilizing some sort of corrective actions when it comes to artificial intelligence, but prompting it to do it for you will get an automatic 0. So please don't put us in that place. Create your own work, submit your own assignments. Week 2 discussion, pretty simple. We're tackling the concept here of our community markets, right? Considering unique characteristics of your local open market. Propose a new business, what's out there. Now, I hear this all the time. People say this a lot, and I see it a lot in like group chats and stuff where people are like, I don't understand why they don't open this up in Calhoun or Dalton or Rome. And really, people just say that out of an emotional concept, not a scientific or research-based concept. Sometimes people will be like, I don't understand, why don't we have a Publix here? Well, we don't have a Publix because Publix probably are looking for someone with a higher salary bracket, an average income bracket, or a Target. Why don't we have a Target in Dalton? Well, because Target does research like you will be doing, especially for those of you looking at a business concept. Where can we find the right audience? People are not just putting a business out and thinking someone might go there. No, there is a scientific strategy to it. There is a actual thought process to it. I also, when we did a lot of incubators where we help businesses get started, essentially they would say to me, I have this great concept. And I'll be like, okay, so how are you going to promote it? How are you going to get people to know that you even exist? And everybody loves for example, this is a big example that I use a lot, is they talk about the E-myth, the entrepreneur myth. And the entrepreneur myth is a person goes, I bake these amazing pies, and every time I make them, everyone tells me how great they are and I should sell them. And this person then goes and starts their own business and then discovers that the skills to make a pie and the skills to run a business are completely different. And once a person gets started, they realize that they need to know accounting, and they need to know marketing, and they need to know management, and they need to know all these business ideas versus just the skills to bake a pie. You can have the best pie in the world, but if you don't know how to run a business, guess what? Your business is going to fail. And that's what this is. This team project is putting you in a position to do that background research. Now, I don't care how you manage your groups, because one of the things that we're trying to get to is self-autonomy, where you don't need me other than a resource, where you can research, come up with a argument on why your idea works based on real scientific fact. Please note that if you're going to use a fact, you need to state where you got that information from. Don't tell me there's 25,000 people in Gordon County and how did you know that? Where did it come from? Don't state a fact without supporting that fact, right? You got to have a stated, a citation. You can't say to me, there is 5 businesses with the same concept. Where did you see that at? Where did you find that? So make sure that as you go through your business, not only in our discussion, but in our big project as a team, you understand that citing things are extremely important. Don't just tell me that the income of a family in Whitfield County is $45,000 a year without telling me where you discovered that information from. You got to show me the proof. And that's what this is about, is understanding the concept of research and building a case on something that you believe is going to be possible. Essentially, what you're doing is you're creating an argument that whatever your topic is, it's going to work because you did the research behind it. Not just because you thought this would be good, not because you think people would do it, not just because your family would go there, but other families that are like yours. And how much money do they have to spend? I'll give you a quick scenario. Why do you think there's a lot of dollar store type places in this area? Think about this from a business perspective. Why are there dollar stores in every corner in the Northwest Georgia area? I'll tell you, because the people in the Northwest Georgia area do not have a larger income. So the average, and that's what we're looking at here, income in Northwest Georgia does not support a Target. Target won't move until the income goes up, because then they know a person that shops in Target, they know what their average income is of the normal customer of Target. That's why there's Walmarts. Walmart knew that the average income of a person based on house costs, based on expenses, based on the average cost to live in this area, the average milk in this area, they know how much money you were willing to spend in these type of environments. So dollar stores are very popular here because people don't want to pay a lot. So they'll pay $1.25 for something, for a small part of something, because they think they're saving money. But when you look at the aggregate, you look at the big picture, you're not. And people think they're saving money because they're buying 1-2 little things, but the cost per unit is much more. And that's how they make money. It's a psychological concept, right? The thought in the past used to be that anything at 99 cents psychologically was affordable, but $1.05, oh man, that's a lot of money. That's how people used to think. Now we see the same concept. So when you look at unit cost, right, and you go to a dollar store and you get yourself a little thing of, let's just make up something here. And I don't know this research. I'm just giving you an example. Let's say I buy Reese's cups and I go to a dollar store and I get a bag of little Reese's cups. And I go, oh man, it's only $1.25. And when I go to a Kroger, I'm paying much more. But in the bag at the dollar store, there's only maybe 3 or 4 of Reese's cups. So by the time you look at the per cost per Reese cup in the bag, it's much more than if you would have went and bought $5 bag, because the cost per Reese cup inside of the one in Kroger, even though it's $5, it's less than the cost that you paid to get only 5 of them. Now, I get it. Not everyone needs a whole bag of Reese cup. Maybe you just need 3 or 4 or 5. That's perfectly fine. But the concept of why they exist, the dollar stores exist, because the psychological concept is cheaper. So that's what I want you to get to. I want you to get to a scientific view of starting something, of doing something. So the project itself is a team project. It's not a self-ran project. You have to work with your team. Keep in mind that these same people will be evaluating your work for your final grade. I will give you a grade based as a team, but your fellow members of your team will also grade your participation and involvement in the project. So keep in mind, these people will grade you on how well you do. So please, please, please keep in mind, this is a team project. So that said, I got a couple of teams where few people did not participate, and they will be dropped from the course. You will receive an email informing you of that. If you do not receive an email, then your team should be communicating and everyone on that list should be participating. If they're not, this is a chance to let me know so we can get this on track. All right. But there is a few people who will be dropped. You will receive an email letting you know that that person has been dropped out of the class and is no longer on your team. So when you divvy up work this week, make sure you divvy it up with the appropriate amount of people. All right. I appreciate it, guys. That's about it. This is week number 2 of our summer session. That's about it. I hope that you guys are having a wonderful time. I hope you were safe in the storms this past weekend. It's a little rainy today, but I think we should be getting past that. So if you have any questions for me, let me know. Team leaders, I appreciate you this week. Make sure you post, and that is not discussion. The discussions are individual in the space there. Let me go back. Let's see. Not your goals. By the way, under the SMART goal, which is the assignment for the week, you have that log in and complete the destination survey. The destination survey, I think, is called First Destination. So make sure you click the appropriate thing and complete that survey. And then what else we got? And then you select your topic. So as a team, where it says urgent team assignment, your team leader will post what the assignment is, and you should all receive the same thing. So we should all be on the same page. Woo, that was a lot. All right, guys, I think that's about it. Have a good cup of coffee. Take care. We'll see you next time.